Hello, time for another video. We've got our introductions, number 54. Time certainly flies. So, we're going to take a look at these. We've got the topic here. I'm going to look at your introductions. I've got my version. We'll look at the paraphrasing, and then we'll see what you have written. Let's see. So, nowadays, more and more business meetings and business trainings are taking place online. The advantages of this development outweigh the disadvantages. So what can we use as a paraphrase? Well, nowadays, or currently, today, these days, that, either of those would be good. More and more, an increasing number of increasingly. Business meetings, business trainings, you could just say business meetings, the trainings part is implied, as long as it's business is somewhere in the phrase. I don't know what else you could use instead of business. Maybe commerce, commercial, maybe instead of business, but you don't need to change everything. Taking place, being held, you can, make it passive active, change things around a bit as you like. So what's the main ideas then? Well, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? So it's asking, is one side a stronger side? So you need more on one side, if you believe it does. You could say, no, it's the same, or the disadvantages are higher. How you do it is up to you. But we will say yes, the advantages do. So advantage 1, saves in cost. Advantage 2, saves in time. Essentially the same. The main disadvantage, zero personal contact, because often in business, in many cultures, people like that contact. They like to shake, say hello and look into the eyes. So that's the main disadvantage for this particular essay. So my introduction. Currently, today, an increasing number of business meetings are being held online. That's nice and simple. Okay. I believe the savings in cost and travel time, my two advantages, outweigh the disadvantage of zero personal contact. So that's all that you need for this kind of a question. Instead of saying the main advantages or disadvantages, making it long, because you'll be talking about that in paragraph 2 and 3. We don't have to go into it in any detail here in the introduction. All that you need, restate the topic, give some idea, savings in cost of travel time outweigh the disadvantage of zero personal contact. Okay, so let's have a look at yours. You may hear a bit of noise outside. It's pretty nice here. I've got my office windows open. Everything's open, so the sun is coming through a bit there. So there might be the noise. If it's too noisy, I'll pause it until they've gone. So every day, more commercial activities, including nurturing, or even their conventions. What does that mean? No idea what that means. Nurturing, that's what you do with like plants and animals and children when you're raising. Or even their conventions. Are you talking about business conventions? That doesn't make sense. Are being held in a virtual manner. So that's, virtual online. So that's not bad. But nurturing or even their conventions, that's not very, very clear. Although it leads to some consequences, owing to the lack of real communication. Well, what does that mean? Again, you've got to be careful when you paraphrase. Real communication, you're still communicating. It's not real, it's not false. It's just not interpersonal. It's not personal. It's not face-to-face in business. So that's not really true. The more prosperous trading following to easily participation for all or facilitated steps of organizing vividly is advanced to its drawbacks. No idea what you're talking about. No idea what that means at all. That's not clear at all. Vividly is advanced. That's a very awkward structure. The more prosperous trading following to easily, what do you mean easy? Easily? Why is it an adverb? Easily participation for all or facilitated steps of... I've got, again, I don't want to be overly critical or overly harsh, but the examiner is going to take a look at this and he'll say, no idea what you're talking about, and he'll mark it accordingly. He's not going to get his phone and say, hey man, I'm just reading your essay, can you explain what does vividly is advanced to its drawback? Not going to do it. It's not happening. He's going to take a look and think, no idea what you're talking about, and he'll mark it accordingly. So, you need to be clear. So, in the 21st century, you mean today or currently, because it's not finished yet. There are quite a few activities, such as coaching related and session related to business, are carried out. Right. So quite a few activities to business which carried out on the internet. Okay, in my view, the merits of this improvement, because of being needless for a specific place and convenient to select an appropriate time, is preponderated heavily against its drawbacks. Again, I don't want to be overly critical, but this is very difficult. Preponderated heavily. So why not simply say the advantages of XYZ outweigh the disadvantages of XYZ? Why don't you do it like that? Because this is way too... in my view, the merits of this improvement are, well, why do you have because of being needless? Well, right. Examiner will do exactly the same as I'm doing. He's going to say, I have no idea what you're talking about. They're not going to try and figure it out. If it's not clear, they'll go to the criteria. They'll go down 9876, 5, unclear. That's what they'll give you. Using the internet for holding meetings, especially with business purposes. Why not simply say business meetings? Why make it so difficult? Meetings especially with business purposes, or meetings for the purpose of business. Nobody would say that. They would just say business meetings. It's now common in all of the world. In all, you mean around the world? Well, these days, I think besides some trivial demerit, it has a lot of benefits. Empty sentence tells me nothing. How is that answering the question? How is that answering the question? I keep talking about the criteria. I shouldn't have to do this every single time, but I will do. I'll drag this over here, show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. Official criteria. Right. A clear position, come on pen, directly answers the question. Okay? Clear, direct. And if you're using these empty sentences, how is that clear and directly answering the question? It isn't. At least here, there's some attempt at saying what they are. Not, particularly well expressed. If you look at mine, savings in cost and travel time, that's clearly two advantages. So it's clear, direct. Okay, let's continue. Nothing to do with the topic. Nothing to do with the topic. Nothing to do with the topic. And how is this answering the question? For example, in most of the companies, due to long distances among the participants in other events, that's not answering the question. So that all of that is irrelevant. Again, I don't want to be harsh, but this is not what you're asked to do. Right? Recently, people's demands and lifestyle of humans have been affected on the technology, apart from the fact that there's grammatical and vocab errors there. To be a successful part of globalization business is necessary to up-to-date. What's that got to do with the topic? Nothing. Don't do it. Do it like paraphrase. And then, I know that's not very well expressed, but answer the question. Right? You paraphrase. Answer the question. Okay. Right? Now, if you want to talk about something else, reasons and examples, put them in your body paragraphs. Don't put them in your introduction. Examiner doesn't want it. Again, I'm going to show you it. Again, clear, directly answers the question. If you're not doing that, then your introduction is no good. It's just that simple. Right. Recently, the number of online interactions is increasing rapidly. Okay, good. In my opinion, the benefits of this trade override the probable drawbacks, such as becoming too dependent on the internet. Good, right. So we've got some kind of an answer. I believe that holding online meetings, virtual training can be considered advantageous and more convenient compared to traditional ones, not comparing. That cannot always be practical. So that's a little bit longer than I would have liked, but look at the difference here, right? Recently, the number of online interactions regarding business is increasing. Good paraphrase. In my opinion, the benefits of this trend outweigh the drawbacks. The question's been answered. What it's got to do, I would have done it as I did in a single sentence, but still, he's answered the question. Yes, advantages outweigh the disadvantages, and then can be considered the more convenient. So that third sentence could have been a little more concise, but still, that's not too bad. At least it's direct and it's answering the question. That's what the examiners want. Okay, okie doke. Oh, I'll just have a drink. Today, increasing numbers. Okay, yeah, very good. From my point of view, online content is quite time-saving and convenient. However, drawback lack of true fit. Right, now, there you go. That's what you want to be doing. That's pretty good. Pretty good. That's what you want. Excellent. Recently, many business sessions happened via the internet. I assume that this trend. So, sentence 1's good. Sentence 2, assume. Is it or isn't it? There's no assumption or presumption. What do you think? Is it more advantageous? And if so, how? How is it? Tell me. So, that one's good. Sentence 1's good, but that sentence 2 doesn't really tell me anything. Currently, many businesses choose to hold their meeting training courses through the internet. Okay, that's good. I think that the drawbacks of this trend will pale in comparison. Well, why not just simply say it outweighs or it's stronger? Pale in comparison. Where it's using inappropriate phrases is not going to get you any extra marks, I'm afraid. As it would be time-saving and accessible. So that could be... So, sentence 1's good. Sentence 2 could be better, could be clearer. I think the advantages are blah, 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 and the stronger are the drawbacks, which are blah, blah, blah. That would be fine. Recently, many companies go online or are going, if it's an activity, make it present continuous. Many companies are going online with the aim of holding their training courses, meetings for their staff. That's good. My point of view, interpersonal relationship have, while this kind has its own merits, due to the loss of face-to-face interplay and disappearing impressiveness. What does that mean? Among personnel will be underestimated. Nonsense. No idea what that last bit means. Starts off well, pretty clear, direct, in my point of view, some merits, and then disappearing impressiveness among personnel will be underestimated. What does that mean? I have no idea. Business conference and training are mostly holding on online platform. What? Are they holding themselves? Are being held? Might be a better way if you want to use passive. Are being held on online platforms. Okay. My opinion, more advantages such as saving precious time and money in comparison with the disadvantages. Oop, somebody right outside my office window. Well, they're not talking very loudly. You might not even be able to hear them, so I'll let it go. In comparison with the disadvantages, which are what? So that's only half an answer. Sentence was good, but this method more advantages such as blah 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 in comparison with what? So that could be a little better if you'd have told me what the disadvantages were. So no idea what that means. That's not too bad. No idea. That's fine. That's good. Not bad. No idea what that means. I mean, it shouldn't be in your introduction. Well, okay. Preponderate heavily. And I have no idea what that means. So again, you're making me be too critical. I don't want to do it, but if you're writing like this, the examiner, they're not going to understand you. They're just not. It's pretty easy, really. Look. All you got to do, address all parts of a question, right? Add nothing, omit nothing, as I keep saying every day, right? Keep it clear, direct. This is the answer to the question. I think this is the answer because blah, blah, blah. Clear, simple, direct. If you can do that, at least for task response, you will be fine. So that'll do for today. That's, what's that? What do you say? That was number 54. We've got a couple more essays to assess, make some videos for those. So we'll be choosing, or we'll be inviting one of the subscribers to write a complete essay for this question, and I'll be reviewing that at a later date. So until then, I'll see you later. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to join our new chat group on IELTS9PRO on Telegram. If you are a subscriber, you can find us on Apparat, and on Telegram we've got a chat group now, as well as the usual channel. So feel free to come and join us and have a chat there. Right, I'll see you later. Bye for now.